Hi there, Asamat here, and I have a lesson today on a topic that a lot of people ask me. A lot of people have problems with. A lot of my students have mentioned this, and sometimes I meet people after shows or at workshops I've conducted, and people ask me about this one topic. And from fingerstyle guitarists to jazz guitarists to pop guitarists, it seems to be a very popular thing. And a very confusing thing for a lot of people. So the topic today is, how do you come up with a melody, and from that melody, how do you find the right chords to play over it? If you make an arrangement, let's say if you have a song that goes something like that, how do I know how do I come up with those chords? And in the beginning, it might seem a little mysterious, what sounds good, how do you find chords that sound good, or where do they come from? And so hopefully in this video, I'm gonna share a little bit about how I think about it, and hopefully this will help you learn or at least have a system to slowly understand this. So the main thing is, I think one good way to start is actually to decide on a key. So for instance, right now, what I'm going to do is, we'll do something in C major. It's a friendly key, and let's say I have a melody, and but the thing is, I need to know the scale. So you may want to, Google and find a scale pattern that you like, so that you know exactly what you're playing. In this case, I'll show you what I'm going to use. I'm going to use C major. It's just a C major scale, and this is a common fingering, starting on the 3rd string, the note C, the 5th fret, and then the 7th fret of the 3rd string, D, the 2nd string, 5th fret, E, 6th fret of the 2nd string, F, G is on the 8th fret of the 2nd string, A, first string on the 5th fret, B is on the 7th fret of the 1st string, and the C is on the 8th fret. So it's just, and I'm using on the right hand, I'm just going to use I, M, I, M, I, M, I, M. So just alternating between these two fingers. Okay, so for our exercise right now, I'm going to try my best to just come up with a melody using just these notes. And so, there's going to be a 2-step process. One is I'm going to make a little melody, and then after that we'll find the chords. So let's keep it very simple. Now, some of you may wonder, okay, I have a scale, but how do I come up with a melody? Now, coming up with a melody is just like talking. It's like conversation. So if you start talking to someone, you want to have a simple sentence first. So we're going to start it very simple. So maybe I'll pick only 3 notes. So even though I have all these notes, maybe I'll pick 3 notes, and I'll pick something very obvious first. Maybe just C, D, E. Now it doesn't seem very complex, but we want to start simple. So just C, D, E. And I'm going to come up with 4 phrases. This is a composition technique that I've taught people before. It's called the 3-note method, 3-note composition method. So I pick 3 notes. Then I'm going to play the same 3 notes, but change the last note. So 2 notes is the same, but I'm going to change the last note. Instead of an E, I'm going to go maybe to a G. And I'm going to go back to the original phrase. Then I'm going to come out with another 3-note phrase. So I have 4 phrases. So just watch. C, D, E, that's the first phrase. Then C, D, G, that's the variation of the first phrase. And I'll play the first phrase again. C, D, E, and then something else. Last one is F, E, D. So I have 4 phrases. I'm going to play it in time. 3, 4. this again, the whole thing. 2, that's A. I'll call this A prime. I'll call this phrase A, the A phrase. I'll call this phrase B. So if I analyzed it as a composition major, or jazz composition major, I would analyze it as A, small letter A, as the first phrase. A prime, A with a little, it's like a little prime, it's like a little symbol on top, just to show that it's related to the first idea but just different. A, idea A, idea A prime, then back to idea A, and then idea B. So I have 4 phrases, and this is enough material to start off kind of a simple melody, and I just played it in time just now. Now, at this point, if you're watching this video and you can follow, if anything is confusing, I suggest you rewind the video and just watch it again from the beginning. The main concept here so far is how do you write a melody, and I just introduced this concept called the 3-note composition method. You have to decide on a scale. In this case, I've decided it's C major, and then I just picked 3 notes from the scale, which I did, and then I took the first 2 notes and just changed the last note, play the first 3 notes again, and then come up with another 3-note phrase. So this is a great way to start writing simple melodies. Nothing very complex, but it's enough to get started. So if you're trying this out, which I strongly suggest, is stop the video right now and try this out. Find your own 3-note melody and play it again but change the last note, and play the original melody again, and then find another 3-note melody to counter it. That's the B idea. A, A prime, A, and then B. So stop the video, and then you can continue right after this. Okay, I'm assuming you've done the work and should definitely try it out. The thing about the exercise is it doesn't matter what technique you have, or how well you play, or how well you don't play, or how rusty you are, or how amazing you are. The technique works at any skill level, actually for any instrument. So even if you play piano, you can try this out as well on any other instrument you like. Now, the part where it starts getting tricky is what chords can you use? Now, I want to show you one of the easiest ways is not to actually worry about the chord yet, but to look at the scale. So we had the scale C major. Now what I can do is, what if I found those same notes but 1 octave lower? So I'm looking for C major but 1 octave lower. So if I have, I can also play it here. So in this case, it's C is the 8th fret of the 6th string, D is 5th fret of the 5th string, 7th fret, E is 7th fret of the 5th string, F is the 8th fret of the 5th string, G is the 5th fret of the 4th string, A, 7th fret of the 4th string, B is the 4th fret of the 3rd string, and then back to the C that we started with, 5th fret of the 3rd string. So we have, so now the melody was created with the C major scale. Now we're going to find a bass notes based on the C major scale as well. The only difference is it's in a different octave. That's why it sounds like a bass note, because it's lower. So if I have, say I have that. Now when the note sustains, now I'm going to find a bass note. Maybe I have, that's E with a C in the bass. I could also try it with a D in the bass, E with E in the bass. Now that sounds an octave, which is okay, but for if it was a jazz composition, it's a little bit less interesting because it's the same note. But what if I have F and E? Now that starts sounding interesting. How about G and E? Sounds kind of cool. A and E still sounds kind of nice. And then, so any of those notes will work. So I'm going to continue this in the next video. Stay tuned.